Welcome back everyone to Lore of the Shadow, where today we are going to do our final quest here at the Stonecrop encampment, and today's is being given by Rona, and this is not an ordinary landscape quest. This is our first mission because we are now level 20, and we managed to squeeze in level 20 before leaving this place. So what do you say about that, Rona?
Would you do something for me?
A particularly cruel and brutal orcish captain has claimed the upper floors of the ruined Tower of Tharbad as his stronghold. If we are to drive the orcs from Tharbad, we will need to defeat him. First, you'll need to cross the river to the island on which the tower stands. Once there, clear the courtyard below the tower of its defenders. Right. Now, I remember the quest during the epic storyline, which made it sound like crossing that river is not exactly a trivial thing. Take care! The orcs in that tower will offer you no quarter. Well, I'm not going to offer them either. Since I'm level 20 and not at level cap, obviously I won't be able to do anything with that delving stone there, so I'll just head in. And I need to be careful here because those mobs won't spawn in until I get a certain distance away from the delving stone. It has to be convinced that, alright, we can start the mission now that we know that the runner has absolutely no plans on running into delving. I know. You can't run delvings when you're level 20, so when it needs to do that, I will presume that there's only so much they can do with their triggers. Oopsie daisy. There you go. And let's get this off. Oh, is there an... Oh, there's an archer there also. Archers all over the place. Archers to the left of me. Archers to the right of me. Archers in the center. Clear the tower courtyard of defenders. Well, sounds like they're presenting themselves to me. Can I get this poison out of my system? There we go. Now, let's see. Let's try this a bit at a time. I'm not very good at picking one or two of these off at a time, aren't I? Alright, there we go. It looks like I am constantly oh well, at least the bear led it away. Oh. Now, are you still fighting that one? Nope? Alright. Oh. Well, there's the Tharbad captain. You go in first, then I will take care of my share, right? The bear shall be the tank. Maybe I should have used this lore of the knowledge of the lore master. Maybe I should. Oh, no wonder this looks like a great. 1, 2, 3 all together there. Now let's see. Maybe this could be a good use of Bane Flare. I know the last couple of times I've used it, it certainly hasn't been any good. Yeah, look. See, the Bane Flare, all it does is it knocks one out. I just never seem to be getting multiples all together to allow me to take advantage of the extra numbers there. Oh, a scout approaches. Yay! So I guess that means I finally got them all done. Let's return to Rona's encampment. Yeah, let's go. Courtyard cleared.
Greetings.
Quick work. While the courtyard is clear, you should be able to assault the tower itself and find the orc commander above. Right. that is. Remote quest. What's this? On a continuing... Oh, yes, of course. On a mission, on a continuing mission. I guess I shall trickle in missions little piece by piece as time goes by.
Could I speak with you a moment?
The Orcish commander of Tharbad still resides within the tower. With the courtyard clear, you should now be able to make the assault upon the tower itself. And are you prepared to begin the ascent? Yeah, let's begin. Here we are at the base of the tower, and this is showing you the unusual part of this particular area, this encampment at Tharbad, where we have to actually deal with missions that have parts to them. So this is a two-part mission where you have two missions that tell the story. First the courtyard, and then after the courtyard... How many did I manage to rile in this? So you have the courtyard first, and then you have the tower itself. And there's another one that's a three-parter that involves many, many dark water spirits, and let's just say that I am not upset that I'll be well gone from the location when those are going to pop up next, because those aren't exactly my favorite missions in the area. Now, how am I supposed to get upstairs? Maybe I use the stairs. Not that. It's got. Alright. Well, okay, so I got the Defiler at least still to fight. Alright, then we got you. Goodbye. And please, stop with the poisoning. Probably was the Defiler's fault. It's always the Defiler's fault, isn't it? Now, let's see. Up here. Up here. We got... Look at this. 4 of them. 4 of them? Really? Do we need 4 at a time? Well, I guess I'll just... use that one since Bane Flare is not available. Seeing how Bane Flare is always been a little bit of a disappointment anyway whenever I tried to use it. Maybe someday I will actually get a good use for it and be happy that I have it. But this is not the day! Here we go. Okay, let's see. How about... was the most useless casting of a spell I've ever heard of. Good grief. Oh, and that's the captain right over there. Alright. We get an elite. Plus 3 others? Really? Yeah, let's get rid of that archer. That archer is being a real pain. And now your turn. Okay, let's see. What is good about this thing? Induction 0.9. This doesn't have an induction speed. This is max targets 5. Okay, I know this one's only wood because that's supposed to be the advantage of Bane Flare. Range 10 meters, range 40 meters. Alright, but this radius of 10 meters is supposed to be its advantage, and it's never doing anything any good. Alright, and oh, here's the... Did I already take care of everyone? Alright, right. You can go after the fine commander here. I really think that should have been a signature, not an elite, but then who am I to say? I guess they're assuming that you've got 2 in the party? Well, I guess there are 2 in the party because I got a bear here, but I meant 2 player characters. There you go. Goodbye. Ah! Done! Let's return to Rona's encampment. Yeah, let's go! 1 tower commander dead.
What can I do for you?
Well fought! With the defeat of the Orcish commander, the forces scattered throughout the ruins will be leaderless and in chaos. Dealing with them will be a much simpler task now. Thank you. You're welcome. Now, we can get out of here, and I guess we could head over to Hern. Yes, Hern. Ah, I've made it to Hern, and this doesn't look like a very good sign. Hello there. The man stares at you with his suspicious eyes, and then hurries for his home. Oh, that's strange. Hello there. Like her neighbor, this woman glares at you and hurries home. What a fine welcome this is! Really? Well, I hope at least the stable master will talk to me.
Greetings, friend.
Greetings to you! And... oh yeah. Leadership direction, sifting through the time, signs and sigil. Oh. Nah. Let's not worry about that at the moment. Instead, I suppose we should enter into the inn? The Crossway house. And there's also a couple of spots there. Oh, a couple more people to speak with, I presume. The inside of this inn is dark and quiet, it appears. Well, let's see what the barkeep has to say.
You and your friends might want to keep walking, stranger.
Hern is not the place that it once was, and you'll not find any welcome here. Oh, what happened in this town, and what's all these frowns about? 4 nights ago, something evil passed through the center of Hern. No one knows exactly what it might have been, but every night since, a terrible fear has seized the town. Old man Aberthal says that he saw something that first night, but I don't know. He was an adventurer in his younger days, and he has such a good reputation for tale spinning that it has always been hard to tell the truths from the falsehoods in his stories. But something happened last night, and on the night that they first came, and the town has not been the same since. You had best be moving on, you and your friends, before the dark comes again. Well, what do you say about that, Boromir?
I have seen something like this before.
Well, when I say seen, but I did not see it, say instead that I felt it. Something dark, something evil, something that filled a man and horse with dread. We stood in the fence of the river at Osgiliath when this presence came upon us, and even the boldest among us were seized by a terrible fear. We cast down the bridge behind us, and only a few of us escaped. I have never felt a fear like that before, Pinelore. Some of my men claim that they saw the figure from which the terror spread, but I do not know if I believe it. Might that evil have come north from Gondor somehow? I did feel as if it were being watched at times as I rode through the empty lands. Or were they not as empty as they appeared to be? I should speak with the old man of the innkeeper mentioned. If this story matches those of my soldiers, that will tell me something of this evil that came to Hern. Well, what do you say about that?
I hope you won't use old Aberthal too harshly.
Aberhalt is something of a peculiar fellow, but despite his stranger, most of Hern's folk are quite fond of him, and he has always brought his custom to the Crossway house, which is something that I appreciate. Now, let me give you a mug of his favorite spiced beer. It may loosen his tongue a little. To be truthful, that is not usually a problem for our Aberthal, but he might not want to speak about whatever happened to him that night. The beer may make him more willing to talk to you. Alright. I suppose we could try that. What do you say about that, Meneldeer?
You go with Boromir and Egfrith to speak with this man. I will seek to learn more.
You want to learn more about Hern to see if what... Yes, alright, you can learn as much as you can about Hern then. And then we need to head out and find Aberthal in his home. This looks like it could be the house that I'm looking for. Let's check to make sure. Hello there.
Why have you come to bother me? I speak to no one. Not since...
Nonsense? Well, okay. Well, let me set this mug of beer next to you while we discuss this. Yes? There you go. Ah, now that's different, he says.
I have not had any visitors in quite some time. What brings you to my home?
You want to hear about the crawling darkness? Aberthal shakes in his chair and then takes a bracing gulp of the mug. Maybe I had better know your names. Who are these companions that you bring with you? Alright. Ah, yes. Well, this man is Boromir. And this is Ifrit. Ifrit from Rohan.
Boromir, you say? And Egfrith?
Surely you're not the same Boromir who is the son of the Steward of Gondor? Some 20 years ago I traveled in the Southlands, adventuring, you know, and I had the privilege of meeting the Steward. I remember his sons, both of lordly mien, and you do bear a resemblance to the elder of the two, but you travel now in secret, it seems. I'll say no more of it. Guard of the Citadel, if not its captain, is in my home. I can hardly believe it. And Ifrith, a proud woman of Rohan. In the days of my youth I rode across the Riddermark in a joyful gallop. Is Theoden still king of Rohan? It was a beautiful land, and he was stern but strong, loved by his people and respected by his foes. It must still be so, right? Said of Eifrit's jaw tightens, but she says nothing. Aberthal continues. I will tell you what happened to me. With such fine protectors in my home, what do I have to fear? Well, I suppose that'll help. There we go.
4 nights passed after the setting of the sun, I left my home to walk along the cobbled streets of Hermia.
This I have done for years, every night, ever since I gave up the adventuring life. You may think it odd, but I have found these moonlit strolls to keep something of my old wanderlust at bay. Perhaps this is the night I keep a-walking, Aberthal, old fellow? I've asked myself this on occasion, but thus far I have always come back to my home, and sleep comes quickly. But on that night, while strolling along the lane west of my home, smelling the night flowers and listening to the sounds of frogs down by the riverbank, I could sense that something was different. I can't tell you exactly what it might have been, but I was seized by a tremendous feeling of, I don't know, wrongness. I felt it in the pit of my stomach, There is a grassy place to the left between the two buildings along the lane, and a single tree grows there. My eye was drawn to that tree, and as I watched, I swear to you that a deeper shadow moved out from behind the trunk. It made a strange sound as it moved, a whispering just beyond the edge of my hearing. It reminded me of being lost in a distant woods, stalked by a dangerous creature I could not yet see. But this was no mountain lion. I drew all my reserves of courage, I tell you, and I turned and run. But even as my muscles tensed, I knew that it was too late. While I stood transfixed by the creeping shadow in front of me, a second dark figure had come up behind. This one towered above me, for it sat astride a great black steed, but I could not tell you how I had not heard the sound of the hooves of the cobbles as it approached. I must have fainted then, for the next thing I remember is being shaken awake by Blendry, one of the townspeople, carrying a lantern. He said that he found me lying at the base of the tree between the two buildings of his way home, and with no sign of either dark figures anywhere around. But every night since, a terrible sensation of dread has fallen upon Hearn as the sun disappears beneath the horizon. Do you know what they were, friends? Has anything of this sort been seen in Gondor or in Rohan? What business could such terrible creatures have in Hearn? What business could they indeed have? Interesting question. And to answer that, I think we'll need to go and speak with Meneldir. But I think that I have some unfinished business that I need to attend to. And that unfinished business is going to be taking me to Bree and the areas around there. Because I have a class quest I still need completed, or I should have completed 5 levels ago, and I need to learn how to do skirmishes so that the next time I visit Karis Galebrin, I can take care of another quest in that area. But I have a feeling that we'll have to save those for the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.